Hello and welcome to another video. Today we'll be looking at World of Warships Legends Airstrike, which is the tier 3 carrier test. Please take a moment to like and subscribe, would really appreciate that. So yeah, over the next 2 weeks I think we're going to be testing out carriers in this Legends version of World of Warships. The PC version already has carriers, but they're doing this test over the next couple of weeks to see how it affects the Legends version. This week is tier 3, I think next week is tier 5. So we've got a bunch of missions to try. I think the rewards are the English heavy cruiser crates. Yeah, so there's a bunch of missions to do as the carrier. There's a bunch of missions to do as the other ships, because I think in every battle there's only one carrier per side, so the rest is battleships, cruisers and destroyers. There's a bunch of missions for each. So it's called Airstrike, and basically it's a way of testing out how these carriers are going to work. So the carriers will have two types of plane: torpedo and dive bomber. So it's going to be quite interesting to see how they work. I haven't done carriers yet. I've done a few missions to open up the carriers. You have to win a few games before you can open up the carriers. There's the American Langley, tier 3. Looks pretty good. Oh, it's got the old biplanes as the aircraft. Well, they're going to be slow and pretty ineffective probably. And then you also have the Japanese Hosho, which was the first carrier that was actually designed and built as a carrier. It was the first one. I think the ones before this were sort of retrofits of standard ships. So let's take out the Langley first. I think we also get these commanders to use during the next 2 weeks, fully leveled up rank 16 legendary commanders. Now this is player versus player, so it's going to take a bit of time to find a match compared to AI. I wonder if this is going to have the same problems as standard. People going to the edge of the maps, hiding behind islands, games lasting a bloody age because you're trying to find that last destroyer who's hiding somewhere. That's the part of standard games that I really don't like, is the fact that a lot of the time the last 4 or 5 minutes you're spending just trying to search for this one bloody destroyer who's the only one left, kind of thing, AI is a bit too easy, but I don't know, I just don't like some of the aspects of standards. Now, the games that I've played using cruisers and battleships or whatever, I've actually noticed that the carrier players have stuck the thing straight into reverse and gone to the edge of the map while he's sending off his planes and stuff. I don't know if that's a good idea or not. I mean, you're further away from the action, which means it's going to take longer for your planes to reach a ship and do anything if you're at the edge of the map. But on the other hand, the armor on these carriers is terrible. I mean, one salvo from a battleship or a decent cruiser, and I think the carrier's dead meat. So I think what we'll do is we won't go back to the edge of the map. We'll go behind this island to begin with, see how the battle progresses. If we force them back towards their edge of the map, I think I'll bring the carrier forward a bit. I might be wrong. I mean, going to the back of the map may be the best thing to do just to stay safe, but I don't know. I get the feeling that we may need to be a bit closer to actually utilize the aircraft properly. Yeah. I've also noticed that the guys who are playing the carriers in the games that I've done so far, they've been getting very low scores. I don't know whether... this is a bit sensitive. Okay, hang on. Okay, the sensitivity of these things is pretty bad on the controller. The slightest movement and they twitch and move a lot. Okay, yeah, I've noticed that the carrier players have been getting very low points in the games that I've seen so far. So I don't know whether that's the damage that the planes are doing is just not a lot. I don't know whether it's actually hitting the target's a problem, or whether it's the time delay between the flights that you send out because of the distance that you have to fly to find a target, whether that's having an effect in terms of the damage you cause and the contribution to the game. We'll see. Right, so we've got a battleship. I think I'll try a battleship first. Go for this guy. We've got torpedo bombers first. Oh god, these are slow. These are Martin T4Ms. Ugly aircraft. Okay, down there. Okay, should get 2 hits there. Really? They missed? Are they that slow? Let's try again, hang on. I'll have to take a look and see the stats on these things. Those torpedoes looked extremely slow. Down to 1 aircraft. It also seems that when you attack, only 2 of the flight make. You see, I've missed again. It seems that 2 of the aircraft go in for the attack at a time. So with a flight of 6 aircraft, you can make 3 attacks by the looks of it. And I think I noticed just now when the aircraft had finished their torpedo run, they actually didn't join back up with me. They actually went. It looked like they were going back to the aircraft carrier, and they're gone. Okay. Alright, so I'm behind the island now. I can stop the engines for the time being. Got some cover here. Let's have another go. Yeah, these are some really ugly aircraft. Now, don't get me wrong, I mean, World War II, I love the aircraft designs. I fell in love with the Spitfire, the Mustang, even the Messerschmitt 109, you know, the Bf 109. Biplanes, not as attractive to me in terms of the aesthetics. I mean, there are some exceptions. I mean, the Fokker D7, the Spads were quite attractive looking aircraft, but these are just donkeys. Don't like these at all. Maybe the Tier 5s. I think next week we're getting the Tier 5 carriers to have a go with. Maybe they're going to have better looking and better performing aircraft. And hopefully faster torpedoes, because these things, I don't think I should have got closer, I think. If a battleship can outrun these torpedoes, there's something wrong. Can we see? Oh, he's dead. And I just sent another flight in, another couple of aircraft in. Oh, that was interesting. I dropped the torps from higher up when the firing arc was bigger, and the torpedoes looked as if they followed the arc. So management of that arc in terms of the angle is going to affect where the torpedoes go by the looks of it. I'm being attacked, I'm being attacked. Shit. Move. Alright, we're going to try some bombers. I'm being attacked by a destroyer. They got past my teammates. Another thing I'm noticing again from the early games. Oh, that was bad. Oh, damn it! Press the button too early. Yeah, another thing I'm noticing is that this is not player versus player, like standard. I think in the games that I've played so far with the cruisers and battleships, I think the most I've had is 4 players per side. The rest are made up with AI. This destroyer's dodging my bloody bombs. I think I'm finding the bombing a little bit easier to control. Maybe I shouldn't have picked a destroyer to try and attack first, but I've got to because he's attacking my ship. Okay, so lead him ahead. That'll do. Oh, the kit keeps going forwards and backwards. Why isn't he torpedoing my ship? Surely he could have killed me by now if he torpedoed me. Let's try again. Gotcha, okay. Well, I haven't hit with torpedoes yet, but I've hit with a bomb. Let's try that again. I saw the name of the planes and I was a little bit confused. Vought SBU Corsairs. It's not the F4 Corsairs. The F4 Corsairs are the Whistling Death, the extremely deadly World War II fighters. I just suddenly thought I was going to get those for some weird moment. It's not. It's the older version. Yeah. At least they're better looking than those bloody Martin bombers. Oh, he's really low. My carrier destroyed him with his secondary guns. How sad is that? I hope that wasn't a player, I hope that was AI. Okay, so we've got some battleships trying to get me as well. This should be a bit of an easier target to hit. Gotcha. Yeah, I seem to be having a bit more luck with the dive bombing rather than the torpedoes. Last attack. Yeah, same thing as with the torpedoes. It looks like you've got two planes per flight can actually attack at a time. So with a flight of 6 aircraft, you know, you can make 3 attacks by the looks of it. Oh, that was a bit off. Yeah, missed. Start moving away because they're going to get to me fairly quickly. It takes a little bit of getting used to, but it's not too bad. And I've played games a little bit like this before in terms of the dive bombing, in terms of aiming and shooting. What games were those? I think those were back in the old days of the Amstrad. You know, my first computer was an Amstrad CPC 464 with the cassette loading for the games. I think I had a game which is a little bit similar to this in terms of the dive bombing and attacking the enemies. Who else is shooting me? Is there another? There's another. Oh, there's another ship. Well, I've hit this thing with a few bombs and it doesn't seem to be doing much. Too early. It's not doing a lot, really. So I've only done a total of like 18,000 damage so far. And my ship's gone. Right, let's make the most of these planes before they're destroyed. I've got a maximum of 3 attacks left. This guy's low. Come on, oh god, I've lost a plane already. Must be able to do something. I must be able to... Come on, try and sink him. Don't get hit, bud. I've done like... Was that 3,000 damage? The time it takes to get into position and then unleash the bombs, it doesn't seem to do a lot of damage, to be honest. Yeah, I think that's complete miss. Great. Got one guy, got 0 guys left. Yeah, I don't know if he's underpowered, maybe? There was a bit of concern when they announced the carriers were coming to the Legends version of the game, because I think in the PC version they can be a bit OP sometimes, and I think people were a little bit worried that they were going to be a bit overpowered here, but based on the first game with the carrier, and based on the games that I've played with carriers, where I've been the cruiser or battleship, whatever, they don't seem to do a lot. Maybe with a bit more practice, maybe by moving the carrier up a bit more, get them a bit more involved, get a shorter downtime between flights actually going up and attacking. But it seems that the damage of the torpedoes and the bombers... Well, I haven't hit with the torpedo yet, I don't know how much damage they do. But the HE bombs, the dive bombers, they don't seem to do a lot of damage. I'll take the Langley out again. Yeah, I hope to do another video next week when the tier 5 carriers come out, because then we can have a look and see the difference between the tier 3 and the tier 5. I did get one of the new British heavy cruisers out of one of those boxes. I'm very unlucky normally with those boxes, the loot boxes. It's the first ship I've got. I think it's called the Hawkins. I got the Hawkins. I haven't played it yet, but I got the Hawkins, which is like an early release. It's not a premium. It's just one of the early release for the tech tree. But that's the only ship I've got out of a crate so far. I've got terrible luck with loot boxes. And there's not many places to hide behind here, so I think I'll just reverse up and see how that affects it. Let's go. Maybe the tier 3s are not supposed to do a lot of damage. Maybe their role in terms of the fleet is to start fires and flooding, but maybe also to aid in spotting. Normally sort of you rely on the destroyers to kind of go ahead and spot the enemy. Maybe the carriers can help in that aspect as well. I don't know. Again, I'll have to check and see. But in terms of detecting the destroyers and the cruisers, whatever, maybe that can be the role of the carrier rather than just pure damage dealing. Because like I say, in standard games, one of the things I really don't like is you got like 4 or 5 minutes left on the clock and you've just got one enemy destroyer to kill, and you spend all that time hunting the bugger down, you know, and you can't find him. Especially those bloody, was it the kamikazes, the Japanese kamikaze destroyers? I have been playing this quite a lot. I don't have a lot of ships. I think my highest tier ship, I've got one tier 4 ship, I think. The Emerald. But I have been enjoying it. Let's put a little bit more lead on this, see if they hit. So yeah, the two... oh, I hit him twice. Excellent. 6,000 damage. 3,000 damage each. That's pathetic. So the torpedoes are slow, and they're doing bugger all damage. Made 2 attacks, and obviously those aircraft are going back to the carrier. I've got 2 guys left. I can make 1 more attack. Where's the target? Who can I go? There's a bunch of guys over there. Yeah, I don't think the torpedoes will be much use against the destroyers. Even the bombs, I don't think they're going to be much use against destroyers. But I've seen battleships put up a hell of a lot of AA. I was in a game with the Texas. Somebody else was playing the Texas. I was in my... what was I using? The Emerald, I think. And the amount of AA, the amount of flak that come up from the Texas was amazing. Oh my God, that's right. No, it's not worth it. What a waste. Torpedoes or dive bombers? Yeah, let's give the dive bombers a go. Seem to have a bit more luck with these things. Got a Kaiser there. Now, in the earlier games of Airstrike, when I was playing the cruisers and battleships, whatever, I was actually getting pretty good results. Sort of top 1, top 2. For my side, but I don't know, for some reason I seem to be losing more than I'm winning, even though I'm getting 3 or 4 kills and I'm getting, you know, high experience and high damage points and everything else. It just, I seem to be losing a lot of games. Okay, let's see what we can do here. That should hit. Hit twice, about 5,000 damage. That's just as bad as the bloody torpedoes. That's a lot of flak. He's turning, no! Ah. Hit twice. Yeah, let's get this guy moving forward a little bit. Yeah, I seem to be having a bit more luck with the bombers. Again, because I think I've played a game like it a long time ago. On my old computer, sort of the same sort of method of aiming and shooting. Can't remember the name of the game though. Those are long, many years ago. Let's try again for the cruiser. Königsberg. I think I was too early. Got him. Set him on fire as well. Nice. But that was only about 2,000 damage. I mean, I'm expecting the tier 5s to be a lot more... Oh, what the hell? The controls are very sensitive. I'm expecting the tier 5s to do a bit more damage. But when you get to tier 5, the ships have a lot more armor, they've got more hit points, so you know, it's all relative. I don't know. Apparently on the PC they also have rocket planes where the planes shoot the old rockets. Don't know whether we're going to be getting those to test out next week. There's also supposed to be submarines coming at some point. I'm going to lose another plane. I've got one guy left. Could go. And my carrier's destroyed. Well, I've been getting no protection from the other ships in my fleet. And those all missed. I'm going to lose again. Yeah, I'm just not getting the numbers. I need to practice a bit more of these, I think. I'm just not getting the numbers. I mean, I'm not the best player, but I should be. I don't know. Just don't seem to contribute a lot in terms of damage. Let's have a look at the stats. So for the American, the torpedoes speed is 35 knots with a range of 3 kilometers. That's terrible. That's absolutely terrible. Bombs about 7,000 damage, 41% fire starting. Well, they're not doing 7,000 damage. Japanese torpedoes, 5,400 damage. That's more. Speed was higher as well. Okay, I'll have to look at this. Thanks for watching. I'll do another video on the tier 5s. I mean, it's an interesting addition to the game, but we'll have to see whether I like them or not. And please don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks a lot, guys.